everyone, and welcome back to the weird part of YouTube, aka my channel. So, it's been a while since I actually uploaded any travel vlogs. I'm sorry, but I'm super excited to be talking in this video because I am going to Dubai in Emirates, which is one of my favorite airlines. So, I'm traveling from Chennai to Dubai. Dubai is my hometown. I love going there because it's home. So, this is gonna be my travel experience traveling from Chennai to Dubai. I picked the early morning flight. However, it's not the 2 a.m. flight, it's more or less the 6 a.m. flight. So that's where I chose that one, and it was about a 20-hour transit in Dubai. So I just wanted to visit a little bit more places. So pick the longest transit. So this is the flight for that. Emirates flies 3 times from Chennai. There's the one in the morning, which is super early in the morning, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And then there's one in the morning, which is the time right now. And there's one in the evening, around 7-ish. So depending on how long you want the transit, you can pick your options. So more or less, it's either Emirates or a carrier flight like Vistara or Indigo. I believe Emirates chooses Vistara, but it depends from flight carrier to flight carrier and depending on what time it is. So the same rules, 2 bags for economy, like 23 kilos each or 50 pounds, and you have a carry-on of 7 kg. So most of the time, if you're flying in, they do check or they weigh in the carry-on, making sure it's not too large or not too heavy. If it is, either you gotta put it in your check-in or you gotta pay up a little bit of a fine, like excess fee. So yeah, beware of that. They do check because they really want to make money of you guys. So yeah, so as per norm, I actually check in pretty early because I want to vlog my whole experience and everything. So that's pretty much it. So check-in wise, it's pretty smooth. They ask you for your documentation and everything. So if you have all that, you should be fine. So if it's someone like B1, B2, make sure you have your proper documents and stuff. So a little bit of issue for people who are traveling from B1, B2 is that you have to show sometimes the return ticket as well. So make sure you have all the proper documents as well. So this is one of the part where I love the cling film like wrap. I've actually never ever tried this, and I know it's like super expensive. So anyone who's tried this, let me know how it is. Because it's just a bunch of cling film. I actually don't use it so much because now it's about sustainability and the plastic thing. So that's pretty much it. So right after you check in, you go into the immigration, the Indian immigration, which is super easy, by the way. They ask you a bunch of questions. You have to show the documents again. It's like an exit interview, and then you do your TSA pre-check, like the Indian version of that. There's not much to explore in the duty free of the Indian duty free. It's not like Dubai where it has several options. I actually took a lot of risk here, so you're not supposed to record in certain areas of the airport, especially the duty free apparently. Like, I don't know whether it's like all these vloggers trying to like shoot videos or something. They just actually, unless you were to buy something, they actually don't really allow it. And obviously, I'm not going to buy anything from the duty free bit or the airport for that matter, because it's hella expensive. Like, if I were to buy something here or outside, I would rather do it outside because the markup is significantly higher. Another thing is that if you were to buy anything from the duty free, make sure your carry-on or is less than 7 kgs because they would weigh again before boarding the flight. So yeah, make sure you have all that in check. I love souvenirs over here. So if someone wanted to buy something souvenir or something that represents India or something like that, this is an awesome place to check it out. But if you were to go outside, the markup is significantly higher. So I'm just checking out stuff for you guys, just so that I can put it in a short or like just uploading stuff. But they're crazy great designs. I love them. I actually didn't buy anything, but just passing time because obviously I checked in super early. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You do have to pay taxes over here, but just that there's no duty over there. So yeah, arrived in the checked in place. There's literally no one here because the plane hasn't arrived. So every airport has a little bit of parking fee. So the airplanes actually don't stay in the gate for a very long time. So they actually come in from Dubai, and then they start cleaning the plane for like an hour or two, and then you start boarding and then it leaves. So it's actually in the airport like less than 3-4 hours. That's pretty much it. So the entire airport and the seats is to me, so for free for vlogging. So Emirates and the other airlines like Vistara, Indigo, Air India, they're all in the new airport. The older one is basically for Qatar, and a couple of other airlines like British Airways and stuff. So they do use the old airport, but I haven't gone there in a while. So yeah, pretty much Emirates is over here. One other gripe about Chennai airport is that there isn't any free Wi-Fi. There is, but you need to have an Indian number. Even though you have an international number, the OTP doesn't come through. So it's a bit of a hassle, but you can ask any of the vendors over there to just have their OTP, mobile number, and then get the OTP so that you can access the free Wi-Fi. But however, there isn't any it's not as easy as it is to get through. So yeah, checking out some shops. There's a lot of whenever you go to the airport or the duty free, it's not just something that represents Chennai or the airport. It's more or less anything that represents India. So you would see Kashmiri shawls, you would see something leather, you would see elephants, like lots of souvenirs, obviously. And my favorite part, which is, as you guys are aware, like people who watch my channel, I love a water dispenser. So obviously the TSA lets you allow to throw the water. So for me, getting my water bottle refreshed is an amazing perk. And the water actually tastes pretty good over there, so no gripes. Like the water in Chennai is pretty hard. Sometimes it gets a little salty or metally, but the one at the airport is completely great. It's perfectly usable. So I think they do RO whatever. So the water over there is just usable till you go to the next transit station like Dubai or Doha. Then you have to throw that out because there's another security check. But that's pretty much it. So that's great. Again, going and exploring some of the shops. So what I chose was the 20-hour transit to Dubai. I wanted to check Dubai out again, wanted to shop something over there. So that video is coming real soon, so stay tuned. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, when I go to Chennai, there's a lot of lounges and everything. So if you have a premium credit card or anything like that, you can actually check out the lounges and actually eat or get refreshed, take a shower, whatever. So premium credit cards, or if you want to just access the lounge through money, it's about 1500 rupees. I didn't, I was just passing time here. It's pretty great, honestly. I love watching planes, so it's a nice hub. They need to clean the windows though so that you get a clearer image. So obviously this gate, the plane hasn't arrived. I don't know why I said train, but it depends on what gate it is. So for example, Indigo, they actually have to there isn't any bridge or anything. They had to get out and then board into the flight. So that's different. So there's another markup here. So when the plane arrives, depending on what type of plane, if it's an A380, A350, or a B Boeing 777, it actually stands on the marked line, and that's pretty great. So I love the new Chennai airport. There's a lot of new artwork and everything. I like exploring that, and because it's South India, it's more or less the South Indian scriptures, images and everything. So these type of artwork is very different from the North India and South India. So you see all these very different ways of representing the culture, like how they represent cows, everything like that. So these type of images are usually on all these clothes and stuff like that. It's very beautiful. I think some of them are called kalamkari, I'm not sure, but that's about it with respect to the artwork. And here comes the plane from Dubai. So basically it's arrived, and what happens then is that they actually deplane, the people who are in the plane actually get out, and then when it's time for boarding, we actually board. So that's pretty much it. So it's coming ever so slowly. I had to fast forward it, and everything. So the moment it lands, you see all the the gates and everything getting attached. I don't know what you call this. I think it's called the aero bridge. And there's different sections, one's for business and first class, and then one's for economy. So they actually come out separately. That's why when economy comes through, you don't really see people who are still sitting in business or first class. So they actually get out first. They board first, they get out first. So priority treatment, I guess. But actually, you don't really need to worry about when you board first or last. So both the Gulf Airlines, that is Emirates as well as Qatar, they actually board in last to first. So if your seats are in the last sort of the plane section, you actually get the zone first. So if it's like zone 1 through 5, if you're seated at the last few seats, you'll be boarded first. So it's like first to last. So that's about the explanation. So in case you have your seat in the first few aisles or rows and stuff like that, you don't need to worry about when you're boarding, because it's pretty much it. So I know a lot of people like to board first, like me as well, but don't need to worry. I mean, there's always a space for your luggage and everything, or carry on. So that's pretty much it. Definitely, this time I actually got aisle seat. I actually didn't book a seat. So Emirates actually requires you to pay up front for the seat. So if you were to go in the check-in gate or something, that's when they actually assign a seat. So you can actually negotiate with the travel aid, the desk person, where do you want to get seated. Otherwise, you got to pay up much earlier. Whereas with Qatar, you can actually pay you don't need to pay a fee 48 hours prior to boarding. So that's great. But every airline needs to make money, and there's some perks here and there, and there's some quirks here and there. So actually, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of biased to Emirates because it's home. It's a home airline. I love traveling with Emirates, but I'll be honest, I forget to see some of the negative quirks because I love it so much. Food wise as well, you see that the caterers in Chennai or whatever the local city, they actually provide the food over there. Sometimes they actually have the food from Dubai, so they actually keep the food for both to and fro. Since Emirates hub is Dubai, so they would actually keep the food from Dubai sometimes, so it depends on what it is. So the food from Chennai is actually pretty nice, so you might get some local cuisine like medu vada, sambar, dosa, it's a thicker dosa, idli, and something like that. So more or less the South Indian cuisine, breakfast cuisine, depending on when you're flying in. But more or less these are the menu options. Sometimes you get some nice rice like mango rice or something like that. So they're pretty tasty, not gonna lie. And now comes time for boarding, because now it's like the plane has been ready and everything. So people start calling in the zones and everything. Again, I don't know about you guys, but I've actually never tasted anything from the airport. I never bought anything from the airport. One reason being it's terribly expensive, and the other reason being that I'm not sure if it's fresh or anything, how long ago the food was prepared and everything. But I know people who have extra cash or who have access to buying at Dubai, and sometimes I get very tempted to do it. So now it's time for getting into the plane or boarding. So this time I actually got the aisle seat, so pretty happy with that. But it wasn't window seat because window seats were all taken and I didn't want to pay extra. And aisle seat is not too bad, honestly, because sometimes you have more mobility and access. Honestly, after traveling for long haul flights like 16 hours, the 4-hour plane ride from Chennai to Dubai doesn't seem that long, to be very honest. And depending on what time it is, if it's early morning or late in the night, you actually sleep through the entire plane ride and all that stuff. But if you are nocturnal or anything, there's awesome options and everything. So I'm here in the aisle seat, pretty much at the back, so I actually got boarded in first. So yeah, let's check out the seat option. So since I didn't get the window seat, I actually couldn't take any photos of the takeoff and everything. But I love the entertainment system of Emirates. There's so many options. So they give you your headset, and this one's a Boeing 777, so I always like to check the catalog of what it is, and the safety instructions. Even though I know it by heart, I still like to look at the drawings and everything. Sometimes it's super funny. I love the color scheme and everything. So that's about it. I love the space that Emirates gives, so you can actually fit in a lot of items. I always fit in my charger. I charge in my stuff prior to going to the airport and everything, but still I charge my power bank or my phones or any other accessories after takeoff, of course, because you gotta be in a certain type of mode. So yeah, for sure, like Emirates gives you the package, like the handy kit, like with hand sanitizer and stuff for sanitizing. Obviously, with long haul flights, you get a little bit more extra, like toothbrush, toothpaste, socks, and also the eye shutter, because it's a long haul flight. So for shorter flights, you don't really get anything. So I was happy that I got something. So from Chennai to Dubai, it's a four and a half hour ride. So I definitely enjoyed the whole plane ride. And finally here in Dubai, which is my home, it's a very nostalgic feeling when you come home, and the emotions just hit up. And when I went in, it was close to Expo 2020, so everyone were getting a free SIM. So with that SIM, you actually can make calls, and there's free data and everything. So definitely get you access to that. And it's such an amazing feeling when you come home. So yeah, that vlog is coming real soon, so definitely subscribe. Put down in the comments what was your favorite part of the video, and that is all, y'all. See you later in another video. Bye, and don't forget to subscribe, seriously.